You want to create realistic fire in Blender? Add a sphere and press F3.
Hello. Excuse me. Welcome to stream. As you probably heard from the tutorial that I accidentally just played on stream, we're gonna be putting some fire in the level. I might not be streaming for long today because I just woke up, and I don't really have a lot planned. I do just want to show off what I did off stream, since the last stream. So yeah, I basically I'm saying a lot. I'm sorry, but I made the cavern one single object instead of having it be like a bunch of different objects. So I basically just went and basically re-topologized it. So this is like a whole new object. This is what I had before, and it's like it's fine, but like I felt like I couldn't I couldn't edit it too much. Well, I mean, I don't know. I just like the way this looks better. Seeing as it's all one object and it's all connected and all that. I think it makes it look a little bit more natural, as opposed to this where you could see like sharp edges, things clipping into each other. If I were to like try and like edit this, then I'd have to like re-unwrap it and like just do a bunch of stuff. It'd be a nightmare. I think the main reason is I think this looks a bit better. But yeah, we got this and we put it in here, and I can't remember if I did this on stream or not, but I basically made it so that I have like a black and white texture. So if I come in here, that I also put on the in the material, that basically blends this like rocky material with this like sand material. So actually let me take a little let me run around a little bit. It's saying one actor with physical materials needs to be rebuilt. I don't know what that means. Actor with physical materials, huh? You're talking about the landscape? But yeah, I added in this landscape and I put the sand material on that as well, so it looks, you know, like a desert. And I turned up the bloom. I like in the post processing, so it looks like way more intense, because that's the point. It's supposed to be really intense looking and like really bright and like punishing. But yeah, I don't know why it says one actor with physical materials. Alright, let me save everything. I don't want anything to crash. Let me build physical materials. That didn't seem to do much of anything. Let me... because these are the only things with materials here. Why are you saying that? I don't understand. I do not understand. When let me put the landscape back on, and I'll probably deal with that later. That's fine. But yeah, I also put these like white cubes here. These will be covered up with probably more of like more cliffs maybe. But the reason these are here is because if I don't have them here, then for some reason, so you see inside this cave here, if I move this out of the way, then sunlight actually streams into the cave from the outside, because I think what's happening is it sees that there's backface culling on this object, so it thinks that, like, hello? So I swear I thought I heard Cole knock on my door. It thinks that like that this is just like an open object, so light can just kind of stream right in through it. So I have to put this cube in the way, and that fixes it. But yeah, I really like how this. I'm such a huge. Like I said, I'll run around for a little bit so you guys can see what it's looking like here. Stream's doing well so far. No drop frames. It's good. It's good. I know Cole told me earlier that the internet was being a bit wonky, so glad we're not having any of that. Also, I adjusted the layout back to like the Unreal Engine layout to how it originally was. So it's all just on the one monitor. So I don't have to worry about switching scenes or anything like that. I still have my double monitor layout for when I'm not streaming, but I think this is just how I'm gonna have to do it. If there's one thing I do want to do is eventually I want to adjust how this looks, because you can tell it's very, like, you can see the edges like perfectly clearly, and that's not what I want. But as we go down here, like, this is looking a bit better. It might also be because the sun's not shining directly on it, but yeah, you can see this looks a little bit better. You could go in these caves. I love how big these caves are. And I don't have a light source or anything, so it's gonna get pretty dark as I go in these. But I love the way these textures look. These are just from like Megascan's textures that I'm just using, but I do like how they're blending in with the other texture. It's very, very nice looking. We can go in this cave over here, and eventually I do want to put in some like assets, like some cliffs and stuff along the wall where it's like repeating the texture. But yeah, I like the way this cave looks. I'm not gonna worry too much about nitpicky like detail work, because there's probably a lot of changes I'm going to be making to this level anyway. So yeah, we can go down here. I really do like how like big and imposing this area looks. And then this is like the big cave where the king of this area lives. Looks very good. It looks very nice. But yeah, we're gonna be probably popping head first, like straight into Swedentown for the to get a tutorial on how to make a pretty realistic fire and how to actually get it in Unreal Engine. So it's gonna be a pretty tutorial heavy stream today, but I think that should be all right. Yeah, so I also, like I said, might not be talking as much, so I'll just that. And yeah, so without further ado, let's hop in a Blender. And I'll open that tutorial that I accidentally played a little bit at the start. And we can get right into it. So it's only 1 minute to create, so hopefully it shouldn't be too long. But he starts with adding a sphere. Oops. I want to put the 3D cursor at the center. There we go. I'm just gonna turn this down a little bit, and we're gonna see how he does this. So let's see.
You want to create realistic fire in Blender?
Yes, I
Add
do.
a sphere and press F3. Right click and choose Quick Smoke. Scale and move the container up. Select.
All right. So already, Quick Smoke. There we go. Now, I think I do want to have this scene up as reference. Let's see. Because I want there to be like a pretty big bonfire like down here. So actually, you know what? Let me delete that. Let me get rid of the floor. And then let me... Actually, we'll keep that on. We'll just get rid of the floor. Thank you. We'll put the 3D cursor like right there. Maybe like right there. And actually no, because I was gonna say, I did want to create like the sort of beginnings of the bonfire, but I don't know what resources there would be in the desert, so that's something I'm gonna have to research in a bit. So I'll just make the fire. So right here we'll add a sphere. Let's just maybe move it up a little bit, and maybe make it like way big. I want this thing to be huge. So maybe like that, and then Quick Smoke. All right. So we have our smoke domain here. We can adjust the size of it. So it's probably gonna be like that maybe. All right. What else? What else do you do?
Select the sphere and go to the settings. Change the flow type to fire.
All right. Go to the settings. Probably, yeah. Here we go. Flow type, fire. Beautiful. All right.
Increase the fuel to 2. Under flow source, change the surface emission to 1.
Okay, fuel to 2. I mean, I could adjust these settings anyway. And then he changes this to 1. Alright.
Activate the texture. Go to the texture settings and add a new one. Select cloud and increase the contrast under colors to 5.
Alright. Let's do that.
Also change the size to 0.1. Go back to the fire settings and select.
Okay.
The created texture. Now select the container and change the cache type to modular. Now you can increase.
Alright, wait, what does he do?
Texture. Now select the container and change the cache type to modular.
Okay. Wait. Okay, here we go.
Now you can increase the resolution. The higher you go, the more detail you will get, but you need a stronger PC.
Yeah, so I'm not worried about detail for this because it's not going to be running in real time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to render this and make it like a flip book in Unreal Engine, and that's another thing I'm going to have to look up a tutorial for. But yeah, what does he do?
Increase the resolution. The higher you go, the more detail you will get, but
So I'll try like 128 for the resolution. We'll try that.
Need a stronger PC. Select adaptive domain for a faster cache.
Okay. Adaptive domain. There we go.
Under fire, reduce the speed to 0.5 and the vorticity to 0.1.
What does he do?
Under fire, reduce the speed to 0.5 and the vorticity to 0.1. Select a folder and change the length to your liking. After that, press bake. This can take a while. After it's done, change the render to cycles.
Okay. Alright. So, are we? Yeah, we're already on cycles. Alright, so this is where the cache is going to be stored. Yeah, that's fine, honestly. And I want this to end at, like, maybe, like, 500 or so. Because I want, I'm probably going to take this in video editing and make it so that, because when it bakes, it's going to start by, like, igniting the fire and then having it go up. But I don't want it to do that, like, all the time, because that wouldn't, I just want this fire to be there. So I'm going to cut it off at, like, around, like, maybe, like, 250 or so. And then I'll adjust it later. But yeah, if I just play this now, I'm gonna save it. How does it doesn't look at all cool. I just literally have to hit bake. Alright, if this makes the stream go kaput, I'm sorry. Bake data. It doesn't seem like it's doing much of. It doesn't seem like it's doing much of anything. Man, don't you love when you follow a tutorial exactly how it was, you know, meant to go? Like, literally changing the exact settings he changes and doing everything exactly the way he does, and then your result ends up different than his does. Isn't that just a fun feeling? Don't you just love that? I mean, we'll see how this goes, but yeah, you know, if this turns out to just be a whole lot of nothing, then, boy, I sure love troubleshooting. Gotta love it. Oh, it is slowing down. That maybe seems like it's doing something? I think. It's hard to tell. It showed up earlier. There was a setting that made it go away. I don't know. We'll find out, as they say. I don't even know if this is how I want to do the fire in the first place. I don't know, because the way I'm doing it right now is I make a simulation in Blender and I render it onto a 2D plane, and then that's just how it plays. But, like, that's gonna kind of look bad thinking about it now. Because it's just gonna be this, like, 2D looking fire. Like, that's good for, like, torches and stuff, at least, but, not for, like, big bonfires like this. I might need to do this in a slightly different way. I don't want to do any, like, real-time fire simulation in Unreal Engine for very obvious reasons. But yeah, I'm just thinking about how I'm gonna do this. Because if I don't have, excuse me, if I don't have it like rotating towards the player, which is already going to look bad, then it'll just very obviously look 2D. So I don't actually know what I'm gonna do. But yeah. Let's just see if this looks good anyway. Oh, it actually did work. Oh, cool. Okay. Huh. It's not very big, is it? I'm wondering. Yeah, that's not big at all. Huh. I mean, I do have this sphere still like submerged into the ground like that. All right, we're gonna do some research then. Yeah, I haven't seen this video yet because it just came out 3 hours ago. But damn, we're gonna miss them. All right, Unreal Engine Fire. Yeah, I don't want it to be running at real time. That's gonna be bad. Yeah, this is the video I saw on this technique. He does it like a very stylized way. Yeah, there it is. He does it like a very like stylized way like that, like by doing it as like a material. And then he also does it the way I'm doing, which is right here, I think.
So this is how games like Halo Infinite, camera-facing particle, mimicking the detail of a high-quality real-time simulation for a fraction of the cost. This technique is called a flipbook. Remember those flipbooks you used to make as a...
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, but
effects? Flipbooks are essential.
oh, did stream cut out for a bit? Or that message just never appeared yet. That's very weird. It's 29 minutes. I don't want to sit here and watch a video for 29 minutes. What's the gist? What do you do? Oh, you use an Unreal Engine Marketplace asset. Infinity Blade effects. I mean, what I could do, I guess, is like... Okay, yeah, no. Fire I just typed bonfire and it's like, did you mean Dark Souls? No, I just want a bonfire. This is someone's showcase of what they did. That's cool, but it only shows it from the one angle. Well, you know, I'll keep going with this. I just got to adjust it. So it's okay. So let's just play with this, and we'll let's see what we can do. So first off, is I want to take both of these and just kind of move them up. Yeah, the cache is gonna stay down there, but that's fine. I want to take you. I want to make like the fuel like 5. And then let's just play with yeah, let's play with this for a little bit. We'll make the speed like, we'll set the speed back to like 0.75. And let's just try this, I guess. I don't know, just for fun. I do realize I probably could have set the amount of frames to be lower, at least for testing purposes. But it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. It's gonna be a lot of waiting this stream, so you know. So you know how it be. You guys can hear me, right? Test. Okay. I was nervous because sometimes OBS likes to not set this microphone to be the one I'm using, so it's very weird. But yeah, I want to stream more often on Saturdays. I mostly want to, I want to go to bed earlier on Friday or Saturday morning, so that I could wake up earlier and start stream a bit earlier, because I know what some people's schedules are, like especially during the weekday, and it's like, I don't know. Again, just a little bit of experimenting with streaming schedules and whatnot. Ugh. Sad thing is it's hard to tell like what changes you're making in the settings. Like, I don't even know what fuel does. I'm assuming it makes the fire burn higher, but I don't know, that may not be what it does, which is annoying because you have to sit and wait 5 minutes. Well, like I said, I could set the amount of frames to be lower when I do like test caches, but yeah, you know. I don't even know if I want to use a sphere to be the emitter. I might want to actually make out the bonfire first, and then... Oh, we got Pumpkin Hill, let's go!
What the... A ghost?
Alright, see how this looks. It is very slow, but it does seem like it's burning higher. Kind of. Well, it's still very low. Like, doesn't even seem like it's burning like around the top. It's just producing a lot of smoke. I might need to adjust the smoke so it's not like so bad. Okay, but once it's getting around here, then it's not as bad. You know, I think I have to turn the smoke off. Not only will that make it render faster, but yeah, it's not really needed in my case. It's not bad.
What the? A ghost?
Yeah, let me free this. And then let me set the end time to be like 200. Flame smoke. Turn that to 0. Thank you. Let's set the speed to like 1.5. And let's just slap some more fuel on there. I also want to turn up the resolution maybe a bit. Let's try that. You still have to wait quite a while. Oh wow, it is. I just looked up. It is. It just stopped. Wait, or no, it's going incredibly slowly. Okay, yeah, maybe I want to turn that resolution down a wee bit. But, how's this looking so far? Okay, okay. Alright, alright. I do like how that's looking. Yeah, okay, so, you know what? Let me turn the resolution down. And then I'll turn it down again. Let me try that. Oh yeah, no, it is zooming. It is zooming through. You know what? Yeah, maybe we keep for these test bakes. Maybe we keep the resolution low. I don't need to have it that high. Just as a wee thought. Alright. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, that is huge. Oh, that's ginormous. Or maybe we don't want it that big. But, that is looking really good. I do like how this is looking. I'm just curious, if I go into material view... Alright, I'm sure that's in the tutorial on how to actually apply the material to this, because yeah, the video's not over yet. So alright, let me keep messing with this. We're getting somewhere though. Alright, maybe we don't need this much fuel. Let me turn it back down to like, let me try like 6 for the fuel. And honestly, that should be, actually, you know what, let me make it like 5 for the fuel. And then let me try that, just to see how it looks. Okay. All right. Okay. I think that works. I think this might just be what we have to do. Yeah, I think this works. Maybe I do just want to turn it up just a little bit, just a teeny little bit, and then so we try like 7. I don't want it to be too big. And then I'll turn up the resolution. And then I will increase the amount of frames. So make this 500. And then, there we go. Alright. This may be a little while. But yeah, this should hopefully be the final, the final bake of this. So we'll see. We are more than halfway done. almost done. Sorry for the long amount of waiting. Hopefully this looks good. If it doesn't, then I'll still work with it anyway, because I don't want to have to do this again. But yeah, at least just to get it in the scene and learn how to actually do this is going to be one thing. Alright, let's see how it looks. Oh, hold on. It's getting bigger. I think this looks good. This looks alright for what I want so far. Okay. Let's keep watching the tutorial, and let's see how to put a material on this guy.
In the Shadings tab, add an attribute and name it Heat. Add a color ramp and connect it to the emission strength. In the color...
Okay. And he's doing this on the smoke domain. So, let's go ahead and do that. Okay. And what does he do? Puts that into a color ramp and then puts that in emission strength. Mission strength. Okay. And let's get a good spot, like maybe right there. So, okay. How does he? Yeah, heat. And this is on the smoke domain. I don't know why. Okay. Whoa. It's a little much. Maybe we turn it down like that. Okay. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. It just has to be in the rendered view. Okay, here we go. Alright, what else does he do?
Color ramp, make these changes and add a third color in the end that is a little bit darker. Set density to 0.
Okay. So he does that. And he puts a color at the end and makes it a bit darker. I do like the way that's looking. We'll just do like that maybe. I think that looks alright. What else does he do?
For the color, add another color ramp node and connect it to the emission color.
And emission color. And then you just change the color of it. Well, let's see. It needs to be brighter. I hardly ever get a chance to catch your streams, so I pop in for a sec. Yo, welcome. Welcome to the stream, Mike. I'm glad you're here. I'm learning how to make fire. So yeah, welcome on in.
Connect it to the emission color. Chose what color you want for you fire. To make
Chose what color you want for you fire. But yeah, it's usually brighter near the center. So we'll make this like a more whitish tone. And then as it goes out, we'll make it more red and then more yellow. I think that's what we want. But yeah, I wanted to try streaming on Saturday because I know not a lot of people can catch me on like weekdays and stuff. Still messing with the old stream schedule, but you know. We're just doing a wee bit of experimenting. Also, it really doesn't seem like a lot is like changing that much. I mean, I don't know. I'll keep watching the tutorial, but
make it brighter, add a math node and change it to multiply. Now you have a super realistic fire in Blender.
Now you have a super realistic fire. Thanks, tutorial guy. Very cool. Let's try setting this to like... I don't know. He had another point here. Night shift, so I'm able to catch Kayla's stream because they're early. But I always see you on after, and I'm always at work by then. Yeah, gotcha. That's very fair. I mean, I'm night shift too, so I usually wake up at like, lately I've been waking up at like 5 p.m., but like on weekends, I want to try and see if I can go to bed earlier, so I can wake up earlier, to do streams that way. But like, yeah, if I do at least one stream on a weekday, and then a stream on a weekend, then like, I don't know, maybe that'll fit in a bit better with more people's schedules, but yeah. Let's see, you know, actually, if I disconnect this, let me try changing this temperature value. That does not seem to be doing literally anything at all. That's pretty sick. Yeah, 'cause like... Also, I'm not that big a fan of how it's like kind of bumping up against the the cube like that. You know, I think it's literally... Alright, you know what? Here, I have a better idea. Let me connect this color ramp to this color ramp. So it's adjusting based on these parameters. And then maybe that'll give me a bit more control. Yeah, that's what it's looking like. Alright. We got something going here. Kind of, maybe. nodes were like the peak of when you started to lose your way. Yeah, let's see. I started learning Blender a while ago. Like a while ago, I used it to start editing videos. And then when I started working on my game some more and experimenting with like 3D modeling and stuff, that's when I started to use the like 3D aspect of Blender more often. But yeah, all you really need to understand is, so I have this smoke domain material, and that's what's housing this like fire. I'm taking the heat attribute, which is like its own way of being like, the closer to the emitter it is, the hotter it is, and then as it disperses away from it, it gets less hot. And then I'm clamping it using like these colors. So as I adjust this, you can see as I bring the black closer to the start, you can see it's letting more of the white show. So in order to not make it look like it's trapped in a box like this, I have to clamp it so the black is more over here. And then I just have this darker color to sort of make it look a little bit better. And that's all going into the emission strength. So it's like how... So black is 0 emission and white is 100% emission. And then I'm just using that to drive a color. But for some reason, it's just not looking quite right. Like, it's way too white. And I'm trying to figure out why it's doing that. I could turn the brightness down. Or, you know what I could do? Maybe none of this even matters. Maybe none of this literally even matters, because you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to render this, just have it be white, and then I'm just gonna render it out, and then I can drive the color in Unreal Engine. I understood like 75% of that. That's fine. I mean, yeah. I always love like when programs use like nodes like this, because I feel like it's so like accessible and easy to learn. Because that's what this is what I tell everyone who joins my streams. Unreal Engine for its programming uses nodes. So if I come into like my character here, this is the player character. I won't explain all of it, but this is the literal programming for the character. Like, this is how I'm able to get him to move. This is how I'm able to move the camera, get him to attack, stuff like that. And they're all organized and like in these like node groups here. So this is what's actually driving his like attacking and stuff. But yeah, it's all done with nodes, and it's like it's so cool because you can actually like the nodes are very, very plainly like named, and the way you can visually like this is connected to this, which is connected to this, and it's like a chain reaction that you can visually see, instead of it being like, you know, like say if it was actual code like C++, someone looking at it like at a glance wouldn't be able to really tell what's going on. But like, for example, here I could say like, oh, once the movement input is triggered, I'm setting a variable, and then if it's above a certain value, then it does a thing, and then if it's not, then it doesn't do anything. It's like, even if you don't fully understand what's going on, it's like, it's plain visual language like helps you out like very much, and it's very easy to learn. I do eventually want to learn C++ because Blueprint is very limited. But yeah, I'm just very glad that I was able to learn a majority of what this means. And that's how the materials work as well, and that's how it works in Blender as well, which is really cool. But yeah, we might have to do a bit more waiting. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm very proud with what I got so far. I suppose since you're here, I could show you the level I made. So this is the world that I'm working on. This is the Beast Turf. It's basically a vast desert canyon. And this area is like where all like the residents live. So they're like basically like it's like a home to a lot of like beasts and monsters and stuff. And they all live in this like desert canyon. You can see the sun over there. This is very bright and like punishing. And I could run around a little bit. So yeah, this is what I got so far. I finished making this whole area off stream. I worked on it a little bit on Wednesday stream, but I did a lot of adjusting off stream. But yeah, you can come down here. You can see these like big caves. I love how big and imposing everything is. You can see like there's a lot of like jagged edges still, but it's like it's not that bad. I love the way these materials look. These are just like Megascans materials that come with Unreal Engine. But yeah, you can go down here. So that I made 2 caves basically, and you can go down here into this third big cave, which is where like the king of this land lives. You can go in. I don't want to go in too far because I don't have any like light sources or anything, so you can see it's very dark. But yeah, it's very huge and imposing. And right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to sort of make like a really huge like bonfire that kind of sits like over here, and then maybe some smaller like torch fires that I could put to have as like light sources for these caves. But yeah, I'm really proud with how all these textures look. Again, like I said, I didn't make these myself. These are Megascans textures, but I love the way they all come together and how how the sand blends into the rock like that. It is very, very cool looking. And then yeah, if we just run back up here. Bit of lag spikes, but it's alright. But yeah, if we run back up here, this is just like a giant like desert wasteland. But yeah, I am really happy with how this is looking so far. World building's a passion. I love what you got going on here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I made 2 other worlds before this. And they came along really well. I think I shared some screenshots on one of the Discord servers. But yeah, I'm really proud with how this is turning out too. Just kind of slowly putting together this world is very satisfying. And I'm just very happy with how it turned out. What I got to do now with this fire is I need to render it out. So I'm thinking of rendering like the last like 20 frames. So that's like, we'll do like, or maybe like, I don't know, like the last 10 frames or so. I don't want it to like visually look like it's looping. But yeah, we'll probably start here. What's your game about? So it is kind of an experiment on my. It's okay. So it's very, very inspired by Kingdom Hearts. It's a game where you go to a bunch of different, like, vastly themed worlds, and you fight off darkness. And I started at the very top, so that's why the character would fall down like that. But yeah, he has a weapon. It's like a it has a lot of that Kingdom Hearts like action, like real time like combat. So you could do like combos and stuff. Superhero landing, yeah. But yeah, this whole game basically spawned from my experience playing through the game and how I feel like, because I am a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts, but I am aware that it has a lot of flaws, like just like core gameplay flaws. My roommate and I are playing through all the games in chronological order, so it's very interesting to, like, from a gameplay perspective, see like what it does right and what it could do to like fix it. So I'm basically making my own version of that idea, and adapting it to my own style. And it's been like I said, it's been a lot of fun to go through so far. But yeah, I have like I said, 2 other worlds that I vaguely made before this, and the character, just like in a vague sense, there's a lot more to it, but you like, there's an inciting incident that has this player going on this journey, and he has to go to a bunch of different worlds and meet a bunch of friends, and eventually they become party members that he can take with them, and yeah, they have like their own unique like gameplay mechanics and stuff. So yeah, that's the idea. That's what I have written on paper. And yeah. So what I gotta do now is I gotta take the last like 20 frames of this. I need to I'm gonna add a camera. And I'm just gonna sort of point it at the fire like this. It doesn't necessarily have to be perfect. Maybe we do it like that, maybe. We gotta set the aspect ratio. We'll have this be like... Actually, no, I want this to be like way lower, like... Try like 256 by 256. This is gonna be very low quality, but at least for testing purposes, it should be all right. We're just messing around. We're just kind of experimenting, seeing what works, what doesn't. Hero's Journey, magical fantasy adventure, crazy new worlds. Well, yeah, that's the idea. It starts in like he lives in like a very like American suburb looking town, and the basic prologue, without spoiling too much, is that his dad is like the head of this research team that is discovering how to travel to new worlds, and then something happens where Jimmy has to go in and you know, find his dad and, you know, go through all these different worlds to, you know, do different things to, solve a problem. And yeah. There's also elements of, like, light and darkness, like, that kind of theming as well. But yeah. What I gotta do? I gotta make the background completely black, and then we just gotta render this out. So I'll probably save it, just like try that. And yeah, I want to save it as like a bunch of images. Best of luck, thank you. I appreciate it. I think that should be good. You know what? Screw it. Let's just try it. Say I want to render it as a bunch of images so that I can create what's called a texture atlas. So I could take this effect and basically put all these images like side by side. So in Unreal Engine, what I can do is I can make what's called a flipbook and just have it like scan all the images in the atlas and just kind of play those images as like frames of animation. So literally, yeah, that's the idea. So I'm not trying to do like fire in real time in Unreal Engine because that's going to use a lot of resources and it's going to be very bad. So I do a fire simulation in Blender, render it out into a bunch of images, and then put them all together, and then make a flipbook out of that. And there's other things I want to use this technique for as well, like in worlds where it's like raining, water droplets on the ground I can use a flipbook animation for. We got to go back into tutorial land in order for me to learn how to do that exactly, because I've never actually done something like this before. But yeah, that's the idea. Hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. And we're just rendering it out as all white so that I could adjust the colors in Unreal Engine. It'll probably just be, at least for testing purposes and to kind of learn how to do it, it'll probably just be like one color. Or maybe a mix of like 2 colors, or like I could probably use like a noise texture to kind of drive the how the color looks. But yeah, so we have that all saved out. That is gonna be in here. There we go. We got all our images here. So we can open this up in GIMP. And this needs to be a pretty big texture. Because let's see, we got 20 frames of animations here. So let's make a new... I'll try like 2048. 2048. Let's just see how that looks. All right, yeah, that's perfect. So we're not losing any resolution or anything. We can just kind of... I don't fully know a better way of being able to do this, so we're just kind of gonna drag these in and just kind of... do it manually. I know there's got to be a better way to do this, but I mean, so far so good. We're getting them in there. Alright, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it doesn't have to fill the entire thing or anything. All right, that's the first 10 is this one. All right, we're halfway there. I'm just thinking like, man, I hope this works. I know there's some plugin or setting where I could potentially like take all these images and, because this is called a this has a name. It's called a texture atlas. I know there's probably a way to be like, all right, I want all these images and I want you to import it in here as a texture atlas. Just creates it all for you. But we're almost done, so we're good. I gotta hop out. Hope to catch more of your streams. Yeah, absolutely. It was good to have you in here. Don't forget to hit that follow button for more wacky, crazy streams. Oh, hey, there you go. Thanks for the follow. But yeah, I hope to have you in here more often, and hopefully, this is a stream schedule that works for a lot of people. Now that I'm gonna be streaming on more weekends, so yeah, have a good one. And I'll see you on another stream. All right, so we got all our images. I'm just gonna fill in the background to be black, and hopefully this just works. Hopefully it's not gonna think like, oh, I'm gonna go through these and then it's just gonna hit a bunch of black squares. We're just gonna try it and see if it works. There we go. World, Beast Turf. Fire Texture Atlas. All right. All right. So yeah, we got it. We got our texture atlas. Now we can come back into Unreal Engine. And we can just kind of bring that in. All right, and let's go back to tutorial land and see how to get this to work. Unreal Engine Texture Atlas. Animation. Animating materials. It's 10 minutes. Flipbook animation. This looks more specific to what I need. And it's from a guy that makes tutorials that I think are really good anyway. So I won't watch the whole thing, but
If you want your game to run at 60 frames a second. And that means there's very little time to do any complicated calculations. And so And here we
All right.
have our texture coordinates plugged right into our texture sample.
Okay. First things first is I should probably make the object that's gonna have this material. I'm thinking of I'll just probably literally use like a plane. At least just to get this to work. So I'll just plop a plane down. And then... Obviously I want this to look better. But for the time being, just to learn how to do this, I'll just kind of plop it there. And then that's going to have a material. And we're just going to plop that in there. He has it under base color and emission. And there it is. We just got to rotate it. Just got to rotate it. Like that. Alright, there we go. And he just has it plugged into a texture coordinate. Alright, let's see what else he does.
And so all we get is our texture as it is. So we need to make some adjustments so that our UVs will read each of the frames in the atlas. And it's really handy in the Unreal Material Editor because there's a node called Flipbook built right
Yeah. Flipbook. There it is.
in, and this node is designed to do exactly what we're trying to do. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my texture coordinates and I'm going to plug those into the UV socket of the Flipbook node. And now I need a time, so I'm going to pull up a time node, and I need a multiply. So I'm going to multiply time by some value, constant. And in this case, I know that this particular flipbook plays back at 24 frames a second. And if I don't multiply time, actually, let's just start off by wiring time directly into my animation phase, and we'll take a look at what that looks like. And then the last thing that I need is the number of rows and the number of columns. So if I look over here, I have 6 rows and I have 6 columns. So I'm going to make another constant node, and I'm going to give it a value of 6, and I'm going to wire that into the number of rows and the number of columns. Okay, now these are my so my texture coordinates are coming into the flipbook, and then this flipbook node does all of the processing and gives me texture coordinates out as a result. So let's see what happens. So there I have a pretty nice explosion going on. You can see that it's playing back.
Okay. So he puts in time for the animation phase, number of rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, well, okay, 3 rows, we'll say that. 3 rows, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. 3 rows, 8 columns. And then we just put the UVs in there. Okay, wait. What else does he do? Oh, that's it. Huh. Also, yeah, it does seem like I might have to end up filling the entire atlas. Because, yeesh. That does not look great.
Back each of the frames individually, and it looks pretty cool. However, I happen to know that this effect is supposed to be played back at 24 frames a second. And right now, since I have time plugged directly into my animation phase...
How many frames? 25. Okay. So yeah, I do need to do that
it's
as
playing back
well.
at 30 frames a second. And so what I need to do is multiply my time by a value of 0.8. And now, since 24 is 80% of 30, I'm playing back my explosion at the right frame rate. Okay, so that was pretty simple. Pretty much got a node built into Unreal that does all that for me. So if that's all you want to do, you just want to create a flipbook and go your merry way, you're welcome to jump from here into the next video. However, what I really want to do, and I hope you'll stick around, is I want to create a shader that does this flipbook effect without using this flipbook node. And the reason that's important is for two reasons, actually. You'll understand what's going on inside this flipbook node, and if you ever need to alter the effect or do something slightly different, or you come up with a way of doing it more efficiently, then it's a lot easier to adjust to the shader if you're creating it yourself, rather than relying on the flipbook node that Unreal gives you. All right, so now we're going to take a little bit deeper dive. So I'm just going to disconnect this part of the shader, and I'm going to move it down here, just so it's out of the way, while we build our new flipbook.
I just want to see what that looks like, I think.
And so what I need to do is figure out a way of making it stay on a frame and then jump to the next frame. And in order to do that, I need to add a new node, and I've got it right here. It's called floor. And what this node does is it rounds down to the nearest whole number. And so where time is moving along linearly upwards, this turns my time into something that's more like stair steps. So it stays at 0 until I get to 1, and then it jumps to 1. And then it stays at 1 until I get to 2, and then it jumps to 2. So let's use our floor node. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my time multiplied by my frame rate. I'm going to plug that into floor, and then I'm going to plug that into my add. And let's see what happens now. All right, cool. You can see that now I'm actually displaying frames.
So he... Okay, this is probably something I'm gonna have to end up doing off stream, because there's a lot going on here that he ends up doing. But yeah, I just want to figure out why this is looking the way it does. So if I do what he said, if I multiply time by like 0.8 or whatever, I just want to see what that does. Okay. I'm also wondering what happens if I convert this to a texture 2D, texture object, plug you in there. I just want to see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, that's effectively the exact same thing. Let me just, like, try adjusting this. Okay. It's like... What if I go into GIMP here and I crop it where this ends? So I do that, and then I just select this portion, and then I crop it. And this is just, again, this is just a way for me to learn. I know it's not gonna look good, because we still have 3 empty squares to account for. But, okay, so if I crop to selection, and I turn this back on. Let me re-import this. Okay, and then I set you to 8. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Alright, we got it. We got it. It was just because of the way the image was, okay. No, we got it, though. And there it is! This is our render of our fire. And it looks pretty sick. What I do want to do now, though, is, actually... Let me convert this back, and then we'll do it the other way. And then what I want to do is I want to make this translucent. And I want the opacity to also be driven by this black and white color here. Yeah, there we go. So we have our fire here. And it looks very, very low quality, but for the time being, it works. Yeah, again, there's a lot that I need to do to learn about how I want to better do this, but for now it works. For now we have something. What I want to do now is I can literally do, if I do like a linear interpolate and I plug this black and white into the alpha, I could take two colors. So A is black and B is white. I can probably so I could set this to like a really bright color. Like a really bright orangish color. Like that. And then this color can be like a bit more saturated orangish red. If I do that, what does that look like? It is very bright, isn't it? How do we get it to not be so bright? Just want to see what this looks like. It's not bad. It's still, it's like, it's very white. I don't know if that's just because of what the post-processing's making it do, but yeah, I don't know. It's fine though. This is absolutely something I gotta mess with more off stream, but I'm probably gonna end it here. Thank y'all for watching. We have a very amateur looking fireball thing that we learned how to make. Very, very primitively. I basically want to take what I learned doing this and apply it to sort of basically make like a bonfire that goes like right here, and then I want to have that same fire effect light up some of these caves with like torches and stuff. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. I want to do more Saturday streams, hopefully starting a bit earlier. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. And yeah, I'll see you on Wednesday for my next stream, where I will probably be adding more details to some of these walls, like maybe adding like cliffs and rocks and stuff, and maybe I'll make something to kind of cover this area up a little bit, and then maybe we'll start blocking out what I want to appear in this like little like desert wasteland area. But yeah, thank you for watching this very cursed, all over the place stream, and I'll see you on Wednesday for more of this. So yeah, take care.